Hi there, my name is Brenda Titus, and thank you for joining me for my video series, My Year Recovering from Retinal Detachment. This is the 19th video, and today we'll be talking about complications, specifically cataracts. Now, if you haven't seen my prior videos, I definitely recommend that you start at the beginning, as I do go through pretty much every step of the journey. And also, as a reminder, that this is really just my personal story, and I'm here to share to help people who might be going through this. And so I'm not a medical professional. I'm not here to provide medical advice, just here to share my story and hopefully be able to help people who are going through a similar journey. So with that, I'm going to give the non-medical explanation of cataracts. So cataracts are reasonably common as people get older, where there becomes the lenses in the eye become cloudy. And so it can just be, harder to see. Everything's a little bit hazier. And like I said, it's a pretty common thing. My mother had cataract surgery. My mother-in-law had cataract surgery. So, and actually plenty of my Facebook friends, as I've shared my journey, have had cataract surgery. It is not as common for somebody who is younger, like myself, but it is very common as a result of a retinal detachment. So I tried to find the statistics on that, but I do know that very early on in my process, my surgeon said to me, he said, well, at some point, he said that kind of on, the initial incident, at some point you'll need cataract surgery. I didn't really realize until a couple of months later when I said, well, when's my vision going to get better? And he said, after you have cataract surgery. And I said, oh, okay, well, there you go. So how I really noticed the concept of the cloudy lens was that everything became not just cloudier, but I mean, truly, it was like everything by the end, before the surgery, everything was just really closing in on me. So it was decently dark, actually, not like dark, like black dark, but like sepia. Everything was a very deep sepia. And actually, at some point during Christmas, we were out in the fog, and I said, oh my gosh, this is what it feels like to have cataracts. It was, except like I said, that sepia color. So it was just like being in a fog, and these pinpoints of light, light would kind of come through. And then also light would be very like a starburst. So light would be very dramatic coming in. And it was I think I keep using the word, it was very unpleasant. So I wanted to kind of think about and share the timeline associated with this. And again, this is largely for people who might be going through this, just to kind of have an idea. And my circumstances are my own. Everybody's going to go through it in their own time frame. But I was originally referred to my surgeon right at about the 6-month point, was when I was originally scheduled to see my cataract doctor and start the process. And theoretically, then that would have meant that I would have probably had my cataract surgery about, based on my understanding of the timeline, maybe it would have been about 7 or 8 months after the initial surgery that I would have had that cataract surgery. Now, that is not when I had my cataract surgery, because at the 6-month mark, about 2 weeks before I was supposed to see her, I had that second retinal detachment. And so they said, that's it. You have to wait until you've recovered enough, and then you can talk to her about the cataract surgery. So one kind of benefit is that even though I had to wait longer for my initial cataract surgery with my first eye, technically I got put in the process to get the second cataract surgery done a lot faster. So, it's kind of a good balancing point there. So yay. So just as kind of a way to think about it, I had my first cataract surgery at 8 months after my first retinal detachment, and I had the second cataract surgery at 4 months after my retinal detachment. So like I said, it's kind of got a little bit of both. It felt a little longer on one side, but then I got the other one a little bit more fast tracked. So that is a wonderful thing. Now, one thing I will share for anybody who, actually I'll be doing a whole kind of couple of videos specifically about cataract surgery, and it's fascinating and was quite an adventure. And a lot of people go through cataract surgery, so I wanted to kind of note it as a separate set of videos. What I will say is that my vision was immediately clearer. Like immediately I said, oh my gosh, I can see. And that was like a miracle and wonderful and shocking and so great. There were some kind of side notes that have been a huge adjustment for me ever since, and I'm still dealing with that. I'm not completely recovered because there was a complication on top of the complication. And so sometimes the cloudy lens gets a little bit of, I still don't know the right term, but like scar tissue, or it gets what they call a secondary cataract. And so I'm actually still dealing with getting that all cleared up, literally. And so we'll be talking through that as we continue our journey. But I did just want to share a little bit about that time frame and how that took. It really is true that the cataract surgery, I can definitely tell, is aiding me in coming to the grand finale of the healing process. It's just taking its time. It's one of the parts of the journey. And so, like I said, I will be sharing as I continue on with the healing journey. And actually, what I'm going to do is my next video. So this was number 19. So number 20, I'm going to do a little bit of a recap and actually share the status of my vision at this point. And then that really means it'll have been just about exactly 1 year since the first retinal detachment, and just about exactly 6 months from the second retinal detachment. And so I hope that you will join me for video number 20, where I share a little bit about some updates and what my current situation is. And so with that, I thank you for joining me on this video, and I hope that you've learned some things. I will share, like I said, a whole bunch of information in the video description, and then I will also share some particular links specifically about cataracts as well. And in probably video number 21, and for a couple of videos, we'll specifically talk about cataract surgery and the fascinating journey that is. So I hope that you will join me for that. And with that, I hope that you have a wonderful day. Take care.